Once, in a quiet valley on the edge of a great forest, a farmer discovered a small eagle's egg lying at the foot of a towering mountain. He gently gathered the egg and brought it back to his farm, placing it among the eggs of his chickens. Day after day, the egg warmed beneath the gentle feathers of a brooding hen, until at last it cracked open and a tiny eaglet emerged, blinking in the morning light. From the very first day, the young eagle was surrounded by chickens. He watched their every move, mimicked their pecking, scratching at the earth for seeds and worms. He learned to scuttle across the yard, wings folded close, head down. The chickens clucked and cooed, and the eagle learned to answer back in his own awkward way. He grew bigger and stronger, yet he never questioned the life he saw around him. To him, this was the only world he knew. Time passed, and the eagle's feathers grew thick and golden, his wings wide and powerful. Yet he never tried to use them for anything more than a quick hop from one patch of grass to another. He watched the other chickens with affection and contentment, never daring to look beyond the boundaries of the farmyard. Yet sometimes, when the sky was streaked with the colors of dawn, the young eagle would sense something stirring deep within him. He would feel a strange longing, an itch in his wings, a restlessness in his heart. But whenever he tried to express it, the other chickens would laugh and shake their heads. "Don't be silly," they would say. "You're just like us. You belong here, pecking the ground." The eagle believed them, for he had never known anything different. So he kept his head low and his spirit quiet, burying his wildest dreams beneath the dust of the yard. But one afternoon, as the sun blazed high and the shadows grew short, a mighty shape swept across the sky. It was an eagle, majestic, bold, riding the wind with powerful strokes of its wings. The chickens scattered in fear, but the young eagle stared upward, transfixed. The sight of that soaring bird stirred something deep within him, something old and almost forgotten. He felt his own wings tingle, his heart pound. For the first time, he wondered if there might be more to his life than scratching the earth. Yet as quickly as the thought came, he remembered the words of the chickens. "You belong here," they had told him. "You are one of us." But the image of the soaring eagle lingered in his mind. That night, as the stars glittered above the darkened farm, the young eagle crept away from the others. He gazed up at the sky, remembering the sweep of those wings, the freedom of that flight. He stretched his own wings tentatively, feeling their weight and strength. A voice inside whispered, "You were made for more." Yet doubt gnawed at him. "How can I fly?" he wondered. "I have never tried. What if I fail? What if I fall?" The next day, the eagle watched the sky with longing, but he still did not dare to try. Days turned to weeks, and still he remained in the yard, pecking and scratching, always looking upward with yearning. One morning, after a wild storm had passed, the eagle found himself alone at the edge of the farm. The wind was strong, and it tugged at his feathers. He looked up and saw, far above, another eagle circling in the blue. Suddenly, a thought burst through his mind, not a question, but a truth. "I am not a chicken. I am an eagle." Slowly, he spread his wings. They felt awkward and heavy at first, but as the wind caught beneath them, they lifted him slightly off the ground. His heart raced. He tried again, pushing down harder with his wings, feeling the air press against his body. He rose a little higher, then settled back down. The chickens watched in confusion and alarm, clucking and calling him back. But the eagle did not stop. Again and again he spread his wings, leaping higher each time. At last, with a mighty effort, he caught a rising gust and soared upward, away from the farmyard, away from the dust and the doubt. The wind roared past him, and the world opened wide beneath his wings. He soared higher, heart pounding with joy and wonder, until the farm and the chickens were tiny specks far below. For the first time in his life, the eagle saw the world as it truly was, vast, beautiful, full of possibility. He felt the sun on his back, the wind beneath his wings, and he knew, without a doubt, that he had been born to fly. Later, as he rested on a high crag overlooking the valley, the eagle looked down at the farm where he had grown up. He felt gratitude for the chickens who had raised him, but he also understood that his true nature could never be denied. He was an eagle, and eagles were made to soar. Sometimes, in life, we are raised in places that teach us to keep our heads down, to blend in, to be like everyone else. We forget the strength and beauty that lie within us. We listen to the voices around us telling us what we can and cannot do, and slowly, we begin to believe them. But the truth is, our wings have always been there, waiting for us to remember. It isn't about growing new feathers or learning the secrets of flight. Sometimes all we need is a moment of clarity, a mirror, a vision, a reminder of who we truly are. When we see our own reflection, not through the eyes of others, but through the lens of our own deepest truth, we realize that we were never meant to walk with our heads down. We were meant to rise, to soar, to embrace the freedom that comes from daring to be ourselves. The greatest freedom does not come from escaping our circumstances or changing our surroundings. It comes when we find the courage to be ourselves, to listen to the quiet voice within that tells us we were made for more. Whether we are eagles among chickens or dreamers among doubters, the sky will always welcome us when we spread our wings and believe. So, remember, you do not need new wings to fly. You only need to remember the wings you already have. Look up, see what is possible, and dare to be who you were always meant to be.